When Congress returns to Washington, D.C. after the completion of its August recess, we hope that one of the issues it will consider, and will consider thoroughly and positively, is the issue of concealed carry reciprocity throughout the United States. In the United States, for many years, we have had a policy whereby a person who is issued a license to drive an automobile in one state can drive his or her car in other states as well. What we propose with regard to the carrying of concealed firearms is that a person who has been issued a permit by a state to carry a concealed firearm will be able to have that permit recognized by other states as well, so that a person who has a state-issued permit to carry a concealed firearm will be able to carry that firearm in other states which issue concealed carry permits. We think this would be of great benefit to the American people. For one thing, Americans who own firearms interrupt or prevent crimes in the United States over 1 million times a year. A lot of people don't realize this, but gun ownership is at least as popular as apple pie in the United States. About 100 million Americans own guns. Americans own about 200 million rifles, shotguns, and handguns. By adopting a concealed policy of reciprocity throughout the United States, Congress would enable people who are law-abiding, who have state-issued permits, to be able to defend themselves and to perhaps interrupt crime in other states of the United States throughout the United States. In this day and age, people travel frequently from one state to the other, even on a daily basis. There are a number of people who travel throughout various parts of the United States on a daily or weekly basis, and many people travel across the country on a regular basis. So it would behoove Congress, in the interests of the self-defense of citizens, in the interests of the ability of law-abiding citizens to be able to defend themselves and others, and to be in step with the modern way of living, that they seriously consider and positively consider a reciprocity measure in Washington, D.C. Now, we know there's going to be opposition to this proposal. We know that Senator Schumer of New York was able to stop such a proposal in the United States Senate before the recess, even though there was overwhelming majority support in the United States Senate, even though 50 out of 100 senators actually voted for it. However, we think that it is a popular, good idea, and one which would have the support of millions of gun owners in the United States, and one which would be able to assure that police would have the ability to call upon law-abiding citizens with concealed firearms to be able to assist them should the need arise. Now, we know that as I said, there's going to be opposition to this bill from the leftist-oriented mainstream media, from some vocal politicians in Congress, and maybe from the wretched White House wonks of government control. However, we have also seen throughout the summer that the American people are fed up with politics as usual. They're ready for something new, but they're ready for politicians who realize that they are the servants of the people and not the bosses of the people, who will not listen to these leftist ideologues, these anti-gun ideologues in the White House, in Congress, and in the media, and who instead will listen to the American people who are voicing their true interests and who want to be able to defend themselves from criminals, from terrorists if necessary, and would like to be able to defend their loved ones and their property as well. Remember, the midterm elections are going to occur in about 14 months. Members of the House, and the Senate better listen to the American people, because as they know now from their summer experience, the American people are mad. We, the people, are going to be watching you, the members of Congress, like you have never been watched before. We hope that you will heed the wishes of the American people and not listen to the leftist nutcakes in the media and the White House and in Congress. That you will listen instead to the people and realize that it is up to you to represent the will of the people and not to represent the will of a bunch of ideologues who are attempting to remake the country in their own image and to deny the rights of the people to govern themselves, to have freedom, and to be able to protect themselves.